Hi guys, I am Divyang from IGCSE on Fingertips, and today we are solving paper 2-2 MCQ of physics, which is of October-November 2021. Let's get started. So the first question says a student is taking some measurement. Which measurement is taken directly using a micrometer screw watch? Only length can be measured, right? Only option C is length, so that is straightforward your answer. Next question. Which graph, just a second, so which graph represents an object that is moving at constant speed? So constant speed means slope is non-zero and it is a straight line. So straight away B and C cannot be your answer. This is the body is at stationary, and in D they have not said if speed is increasing or decreasing. Here the speed is decreasing, right? But it's a straight line, the slope is constant. Okay, speed, I can't say speed is decreasing, the distance is decreasing, okay, but the speed is constant. Next, in which situation does object X have a greater mass than object Y? Option A, object X is in a larger gravitational field than object Y and both have same weight. No, that will not mean that object X has more mass. It will actually mean object X has less mass. Okay, X is in larger gravitational field and still the weight is same for both of them, which means X has to be influenced more by gravitational field to be equal. So this option says X has lesser mass than Y. Option B, object X shows a greater resistance to change in motion than the object Y and both experience the same resultant force. So for the same force, okay, object X shows greater resistance, which means the inertia is more. Inertia is dependent on mass, right? Inertia and mass are different things, but inertia is dependent on mass, so the mass is higher. So option B is the correct answer, right? Then we have question number 4. Which substance in the table has lowest density? Let's just quickly find density by the formula mass upon volume. So you have 1.2 upon 1.0, which will give you 1.2. You have 1.5 upon 1.0, which will give you 1.5. You have 1.8 upon 2.0, you will have 0.9. 2 upon 2, which will give you 1. This is asking lowest density. So answer is option C. Next question we have question number 5. 3 simple machines are shown: moving soil with a wheelbarrow, cutting string with scissors, screwing a screw with screwdriver. Okay, which machines are an application of moment of force? Okay, moment of force, yes, this does use moment of force, right? This is a moment in this direction, this weight is moment in this direction, right? Here we take advantage of advantage known as mechanical advantage, and in this what are we doing? We are using torque to tighten this screw, which is taking advantage of the force, right? Multiplying it with the distance. So in all 3 of them moment of force is useful. So your answer is option A, 1, 2 and 3. Then you have question number 6. A spring which obeys Hooke's law has an unstretched length of 10 cm. A load of 20 Newton is suspended from the spring. The new length of the spring is 36 cm. What is the spring constant K of the spring? Let's see. So you know that K is equal to load upon the extension, right? Load is 20 Newton, extension is 36 minus 10, which is 26 centimeter. I am not changing it to meter because in answer also all of them are per centimeter. So 20 divided by 26 gives you 0.769, right? Round it off to 2 digits because there are just 2 digits, which is your answer B, right? Then we have question number 7. A rocket is launched upwards from the surface of moon. Hot gases are ejected downwards over a very short period of time. Okay, which statement is not correct? Okay, the rocket launched upwards, hot gases are ejected downwards. The rocket experiences downward force. It does experience a downward force or not. Which statement is not correct? Which is the incorrect statement? Now you might think this is a non-correct statement. It is experiencing a downward force. It is known as weight. It's always experiencing a downward force. The rocket experiences an upward force. It is because of the thrust of the hot gases. The total momentum of hot gases is equal to the momentum of the rocket. That is how it gets lifted, right? So option C is your correct answer. Question number 8. Electrical energy may be obtained from nuclear fission. In which order is the energy transferred in this process? So first, the nuclear fuel will be put in reactor and it will disintegrate because it's fission, right? It will decay, and this energy, the heat energy out of this, is used to boil water. This boiled water turns the turbine because it has kinetic energy, and turbines turn the generator which produces electricity. So your answer is option D. Next question. A box of mass m slides down a slope of length L against a frictional force F. It descends a vertical height D. As the box slides down the slope, it loses gravitational potential energy and it does work against the friction. Which row gives the loss in gravitational potential energy and the work done against friction? Now see, work done against friction depends on what path it took, right? So this is the path it took, it is length L. Work done is force into the displacement, right? So F into L should be your work done against the friction. And what is the loss in gravitational potential energy? It is the vertical height from the floor, right? So it must be M into G into D. Let's find an option that agrees with our answer. It's option A. Let's go to the next question. Okay, this is also a diagram question. A rope connected to a pulley system and a motor is used to lift different objects through different distances. The time taken to lift each object is the same. The diagrams are not to scale. Which motor requires greatest power? Okay. Now what they have given us a logic, the time taken to lift each object is same. So the change in gravitational potential energy is the work done for each of the motor, right? If the time taken is same, the work done the most work done for the motor will be most powerful, right? Will be most powerful. So let us write down, work done is nothing but change in potential energy. So let's find out change in potential energy. We will use formula mgh, right? Just like the previous question. So you have 10 into 2 into 10, right? 10 is the value of g. So this is 200. Okay, here you have 3. Okay, let's write it like this. You have 5 into 10 into 3, right? So you have 150 joules, right? 150, 200, 10 into 10 into 1, so 100 joules, right? And here you have 2 into 10 into 3, which is 60 joules, right? So for this, the change in potential energy is most, and therefore this must be most powerful motor to bring out this change with equal time as the other 3. Okay, next we have, which equation can be used to calculate pressure at a depth h beneath the surface of the liquid? It's given by P is equal to rho gh. It's directly the formula. A liquid is evaporating. The liquid is not boiling. Which statement about liquid is correct at an instant in time? It's evaporating and not boiling. Any molecule can escape, and from any part of the liquid? No. Only the topmost and the ones which have enough energy to escape. Any molecule can escape, but only from liquid surface? No, not any. Only molecules with enough energy can escape, and only from the liquid's surface. Yes, this is the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer. Then we have question number 13. A gas is contained in a sealed container in a laboratory. The temperature of the gas increases. What happens to the average speed and what happens to the total kinetic energy of gas molecules? The average speed increases because the temperature is increasing, and when average speed increases, the total kinetic energy also increases because kinetic energy is half mv square. So you have option D, right? Average speed increases, total kinetic energy increases. Next question you have question 14. An aluminium block has a mass of 200 kilogram. The specific heat capacity of aluminium is 900 joule per kilogram degree Celsius. How much energy is needed to increase the temperature of block from 20 degree to 110 degree? Let's see. We can easily find out by the formula E is equal to mc delta theta, right? What is the mass? 200 gram, but we have to change it to kilogram because your specific heat capacity is given in kilogram, multiplied by 900 and multiplied by 90. Okay, 1 2 3 2 and 3. So 81 into 2 is 16200. So 16200 should be your answer, which is option C. Next question. The diagram shows the apparatus used to measure the specific latent heat of vaporization of water. After the water begins to boil, 110 gram of water is converted to steam in 120 seconds. Using these results, what is the value of specific latent heat of vaporization of water? So let's see what happened after it reached 100 degree, right? This is what it means after water begins to boil. So after it reached 100 degrees Celsius, okay, 110 gram of water boiled to steam in 120 seconds. So if this is a 2 kilowatt heater, we can find out the energy in the form of heat, right? The energy given out by heater is power into time. Its power is 2000 watt into 120, right? This gives you 12 to the 24,000 joules or 24 kilojoules of energy. Now these 24 kilojoules of energy are used to boil 100 gram of water. Now we know the energy required is equal to m into latent heat of vaporization, right? So energy we already have as 24,000 and the mass must be taken in kilograms. So I will write 0.11 into L. So L must be equal to 0.000 upon 0.11. Let's do this in our calculator. So 24000 divided by 0.11, which will give me 2.18 into 10 to the power 6. Okay, the number is 2.18 into 10 to the power 6, but we must round it off to 2 digits, right? Because options are given in that form only. So let's, okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? 2.18 rounded off becomes 2.22. So answer is option D. We have question number 16. The diagram shows a pan used for cooking food. There is base of pan, handle of pan. Which row is correct for materials used to make the base and handle of pan? Base of pan, good thermal conductor. Handle of pan, bad or poor conductor of thermal energy, right? Heat energy. B is your answer. Then question 17. Diagram shows pattern of water waves as they pass through a narrow gap. Which row names the process shown and describes the effect of using a wider gap? If you use a wider gap, what will happen? The spreading will decrease, right? What is this spreading? The spreading is known as diffraction. So name of process diffraction, and wider gap, the waves spread out less. So option C is your correct answer. Then you have question 18. Which row is not correct for a wave on the surface of water? Okay. Quantity, amplitude, usual unit, meters. Okay. frequency and hertz, okay, wavelength and lambda. Lambda is not a unit, it's actually just a symbol. So answer is option C. Okay, next question we have next question. The diagram shows how a ray of light refracts when going from air to perspex. The critical angle of perspex is C. Which expression is correct? We know that sin I upon sin R is equal to 1 upon sin C, right? Now in all the options sin C is in numerator, so can I write sin R upon sin I is equal to sin C? What is sin R? It's Z. What is sin I? It's X. So sin Z by sin X is equal to sin C. Okay, sin Z by X is equal to C. Yes, so option B is your correct answer. Now question number 20. The diagram shows a ray of light in air incident on a glass block. Some of the light is refracted and some of the light is reflected. Two angles P and Q are marked on the diagram. Which row gives the angle of incidence and states whether total internal reflection occurs? See, it's not total internal reflection because it is going from air to glass. It can be total internal reflection only if all the rays are going from glass to air and they get reflected back, right? We just did previous question of critical angle. If the angle of incidence from glass is greater than critical angle, only then the total internal reflection will take place. And what is the angle of incidence? The angle of incidence is Q. So Q and no must be your answer, which is option C. Let's see question number 21. Letter F is reflected in a mirror. Okay, what will happen? Lateral inversion. Which is laterally inverted image? Image B is laterally inverted. Question 22. Sun emits infrared radiation and light. Light from sun reaches the earth in 8 minutes. Which row gives correct information about the infrared radiation? Now infrared radiation has wavelength longer than light, but it has frequency lesser than light. Okay, so we have wavelength of infrared, it's longer than light, and time taken for an infrared, they travel at the same speed as light. They are known as electromagnetic radiation, and therefore option A should be your correct answer. Question 23. Which statement about electromagnetic waves is not correct? They travel at 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. They transfer energy. They travel at 340 meters per second in air. This is incorrect. In air also they travel at this speed only, right? And therefore that's your answer. What is ultrasound? Ultrasound is a wave which has a frequency of 20,000 Hertz. Sound waves that are so loud that they damage human hearing. They may, but on a long exposure, not immediately. Sound waves that are too high pitched for humans to hear. Yes, we can't hear beyond 20,000 Hertz. High pitched means it has higher frequency that we can't hear, right? So option B is your correct answer. Which diagram shows electric field pattern between two oppositely charged metal? So the field lines start from positive, end at negative. Therefore option A itself is your correct answer, right? Field lines start from positive, end at negative. Which circuit symbol represents a component used to measure electric current? Ammeter measures the electric current. Galvanometer can only measure the presence of current. It cannot measure the current itself. So option A is your correct answer, ammeter. Okay. Then next question we have. The graph shows the current voltage characteristics for a conductor. Where on the graph can Ohm's law be applied to the conductor? It can be applied between P and Q because that is where it is ohmic, right? So at Q only, between P and Q, yes, between P and Q. Question 28. The diagram shows a circuit containing two resistors of resistance 1 ohm and 2 ohm. A voltmeter is connected across the 1 ohm resistor by connecting P to X. The reading on voltmeter is 6 volt. P is moved to point Y in circuit. What is the new reading on voltmeter? Okay, so if you connected here, the voltage was 6, so volts across this is 6. Now going by the logic of potential divider, if 1 ohm has 6 volt of voltage across it, right, potential difference across it, this will have the twice of it because it is twice the resistance. Now if you connect this point P to Y, it will count the total voltage, right, which is going to be 18 volts. So let's find out. Where is it? It is option D. Option D is your correct answer. Then we have question 29. There is a current I in a resistor. The potential difference across the resistor is V. Which other physical quantity is needed to be able to determine energy transferred W by the resistor? So let's see. We know that energy transferred by a resistor is written as VIT, right? IVT. So this is already given, and they are saying this is not W, it's not E, it's W. What else do you need? You need T. Let's find out. Electromotive force, no. Power dissipated, no. Resistance, no. But time, right? Time we need. Question number 30. The diagrams show pair of circuits containing logic gates. In which diagram does the lower circuit of the pair behave differently from the upper circuit? Let's check. Okay, let's start with input 0. This is a NOT gate. So, sorry, input 1, it's a NOT gate, so output becomes 0. Let's have this. So, this is 1, the input is 1 and 1. This is an AND gate, 1 and 1 is 1. So, the output becomes 0 because there is a NOT symbol in front of it. Here, we will start with 1 and 0 because 1 and 1 or 0 and 0 may not give you the correct answer always. Okay, a different input, right, in each part, in each leg, okay, will give you a proper understanding of how the gate works. So 0 and 1, 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. So we'll start with 0, 1. 0 multiplied by 1 becomes 0, and inverse of that is 1. 1 multiplied by 1 becomes 1, and inverse of that becomes 0. Here we have 1 plus 0 is 1. Here we have 1 plus 0 becomes 1, and inverse of that is 0. But 0 and 0 is 0, and inverse of that becomes 1. Right? Here it's 1, 0. 1 multiplied by 0 becomes 0. We have 1, 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. Inverse of that is 0, and 0's inverse is 1. So gate D is not giving the same output. If you had tried with pair, like for these inputs, if you had taken 1, 1 or 0, 0, you will get all of them giving the same output. Okay, so you need to check the whole truth table. Okay, this is a shortcut to find this out. Okay, question 31. Several cells are connected in series as shown. What is the combined electromotive of the cell? Let's see. The average of EMF of the separate cells? No, it is actually the total EMF of the separate cells. The EMF of one of the cells, if they were in parallel, yes, the EMF of one of the cells is the actual EMF. The product of EMF of the cells? No, but the sum of EMF of the cells. Next question 32. Two resistors with resistance R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. Resistance R1 is greater than resistance R2. What is the resistance of parallel combination? Okay, now to make this easy, let's write this as 3 and this as 2 because R1 is greater than R2. Okay, so equivalent resistor is nothing but 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2, which will become 2 plus 3 upon 6, which will be 5 by 6. and R will become 6 by 5. Okay, let's check at the, let's look at the option. It's less than either R1 or R2. Yes, our answer is less. It's equal to R1? No. It's equal to R2? No. It's average of R1 and R2. If they were equal, it would be average, but they are not equal, so it's not average either. Next question we have. The diagram shows a motor connected to an AC supply. The circuit is incomplete, obviously. Which device needs to be connected between X point and point Y to prevent the wires from overheating if a fault in the motor causes the current to get too high? Overheating prevention can be done by a fuse, right? Option B is a fuse, and that's your correct answer. Then we have question number 34. Diagram shows a wire between two magnets. An electromotive force is induced in the wire when it is moved up between the two magnets. 4 tests are done. The direction of movement of wire is reversed. The direction of magnetic field is reversed. The wire is moved more quickly and the magnetic field strength is decreased. Which test will induce a smaller EMF in the wire? Obviously, if you decrease the magnetic field strength, the current in the wire will decrease. So, only and only option 4 will help in decreasing the EMF, which is answer D, right? Option D. Question 35. 4 positions of a current carrying coil in a magnetic field as in a DC motor are shown. In diagrams 2 and 4, the coil is at an angle of 45 degrees to the field. Okay. Which row is correct? Here, let's just let me give you an idea that here the angle between electric and magnetic field is 0. Here it becomes 90, here it's 45, right? And here again it's 45. Okay. Which row is correct? The turning effect of the forces in position 1 and 3. Here the turning force is maximum and here the turning force is minimum, right? The turning force is minimum because turning force is given by cos theta. Okay, you will learn this in your higher grades, but basically when it's perpendicular, the turning force becomes 0. The motor, the armature is going to keep turning because it has inertia of movement. Okay, inertia of motion. So here most force, here least force. So turning effect is going to be different, and for these both cos of 45 is equal, or in other words you can say they are equally inclined to the magnetic field, and therefore they will have enough turning force which will be equal in magnitude. So turning force is different for 1 and 3, but it's same for 2 and 4, which is your option B. Question 36. The diagram shows magnetic field due to a current in a solenoid. The direction of current is reversed. Which row describes the effect that this has on magnitude and on the direction of magnetic field? So what will happen to the magnitude of electric field? It will not change, but what will happen to the direction? It will get opposite, right? It changes. So magnitude of magnetic field unchanged, direction of magnetic field changes when you reverse the current. So option C. Question 37. The nucleus of americium atom contains 146 neutrons and 95 protons. It decays by emitting an alpha particle. So it loses 2 neutrons and 2 protons. How many neutrons and how many protons remain in the nucleus when this form of americium decays? So number of neutrons is 146 minus 2, so 144. These two are out of question. And 95 minus 2 is 93, so this is out of question. Answer is option C. Question number 38. A sample of americium decays and changes into neptunium. The half-life of americium is 432 years. Which fraction of americium will remain after 1728 years? So let's first find out that how many half-lives will americium go through. So you have 1728 divided by 432. Okay, I think it should be 4 half-life. Yes, it is 4 half-life. Okay, so the sample of americium gets halved 4 times. So 1 by 2, 4 times, right? This will be 1 by 16. So your answer is option B, right? Then we have the graph shows decay curves for 4 different radioactive isotopes. Which isotope has largest half-life? They have already said all of them are radioactive. Which has the largest half-life? So for the given time, isotope A does not decay at all. So it has the largest or longest half-life. Okay. Then we have diagram shows alpha particles and beta particles passing through an electric field. Which diagram shows the correct path of alpha and beta particles? Okay. See, alpha particles, just a second. Okay. See, alpha particles will be attracted towards negative and beta particles will be attracted towards positive. Correct? Here, alpha is attracted towards positive. So this is incorrect straight away. Here again it's attracted to positive. So this is incorrect. Now in this it is shown that alpha and beta get attracted with the same magnitude. But what must happen is beta will be attracted faster. Its path can be changed more easily, right? Because beta has less mass. Okay? Beta has less mass compared to alpha. Alpha has 4 times the mass of beta, so its momentum cannot be changed so easily, right? Force cannot be exerted on it so easily if equal forces are acting. So option B is correct here. The beta will turn rapidly compared to alpha, which brings us to the end of paper 6-2. Thank you for watching and let us know your doubts, requests, anything else you feel to tell us. Thank you.